One of my favorite characters in Sakamoto days is Nagumo. He's that playful but powerful archetype that you really can't help but like. And one of his coolest features, in my opinion, are his various tattoos. In today's video, we're going to explain what most of his tattoos mean across his body and how they all add up into his underlying philosophy. No spoilers ahead, let's dive into it. Starting with the infinite nested radical on his right arm. This is the equation for the golden ratio. The golden ratio is one of the most famous constants in mathematics. It represents a natural order of things that's pleasing to the human eye. It appears in the Parthenon, the Taj Mahal, Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. It also appears in flowers, shells, and galaxies. For centuries, people have called this the number of beauty and balance. It's the hidden order of the universe, much like how Nagumo is part of an order that is hidden. Closely related to that is the Fibonacci spiral on his neck. The Fibonacci sequence is when you start with two ones and the next number of the sequence is the sum of the previous two numbers. So it goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, so on. And this number, also representing an order within nature, is connected to the golden ratio because the further you get down the Fibonacci sequence, the ratio of any two consecutive numbers approaches the golden ratio. And from the Fibonacci sequence, you can form the Fibonacci spiral, which is composed of consecutively adding the squares on top of each other and drawing a spiral through them. On him are also other variations of this theme, such as zoomed in parts of the Fibonacci spiral. Away from math towards movies, we have the hierarchy diagram. Photograph, house, car, friend, foe on his left bicep. This tattoo is inspired by the movie Memento by Christopher Nolan, known for some of his other works like Inception and Batman. The story is a psychological thriller about a man named Leonard with short-term memory loss who tattoos himself with clues to avenge his wife's death. For Leonard, this tattoo is the first thing he sees when he wakes up, being a position as a reminder to photograph where he lives and what he drives so he knows what to come back to, as well as who's a friend and who's an enemy. For Nagumo, this could be a reminder to avenge a cow, a former classmate of himself and Sakamoto. And now we have the symbols on his knuckles. At first glance, they look like four random marks: 2, phi, I, and percent. While there are no specific references to this, or the best I could find, there are two specific things to call out. First is the percentage symbol. This represents Nagumo's propensity towards randomness and chance, just like when he made Minimalist roll a dice for how he would like to be killed. And phi is the notation for the golden ratio, calling out once again the hidden order of the world. Up next, two of Nagumo's tattoos are just direct quotes. The first is from Anton Chekhov. Although you may tell lies, people will believe you if only you speak with authority. One of Nagumo's central powers is transforming into someone he's not. His style of fighting is based around impersonation, and this is a reminder that it'll be effective as long as he commits to the role. The second quote is from Arthur Schopenhauer. The doctor sees all weakness in mankind, the lawyer all wickedness, and the theologian all stupidity. And this is quite a pessimistic view of humanity, calling out multiple facets that are fundamentally flawed for humans as a whole. And these two quotes together define his worldview. Truth is irrelevant, authority and confidence are the truth, and humans are flawed, therefore manipulatable. And this is really how Nagumo does function. Nagumo also has animal tattoos, a snake and a bird. These are pretty simple. The snake represents a cow, her deadliness, and her piercing ability to kill. In one of the more recent episodes, her niece used her finger almost like a fang to off one of the hitmen. And the bird represents Sakamoto. The bird is freedom and independence, much like how Sakamoto has freed and separated himself from the JAA. It represents the ability to move away from the fray and leave the cages behind. On his chest are Albrecht Dürer's praying hands. This is a Renaissance drawing that symbolizes devotion, humility, and commitment to a higher power. Placed near his heart, it represents that Nagumo, while not necessarily religious, is committed and has some deep-lying moral values. Whether it's loyalty, friendship, or his bond to Sakamoto, this tattoo marks that at least one part of him is not a performance. On his shin is the impossible cube, a paradoxical figure that can exist on paper but not in reality. And on his shoulder is the mandala, a design of cycles and wholeness. If you zoom in, it just looks like chaos, but if you zoom out, it represents order within complexity. Merge these two together and you have the paradox of order existing within chaos and chaos existing within order. Nagumo also bears tattoos of various geometric forms, arcs, circles, lines. These further push the theme of mathematics. Taken together, we have Nagumo's unified philosophy. The world is chaotic, but there's hidden order in the chaos. Humans are easily manipulated and nothing is actually true, but you should have some principles worth fighting for. Alright, that's it for the video. If I missed anything, feel free to put it in the comment section. Would love to hear it, and we'll see you all in the next one.